Thank you, Chairman. I want to extend a very warm welcome to Marian Harkin MEP to the Seanad today. Myself and Marian go back a long way, back I'd say almost 9 years to the day, if my calculations are right, where we campaigned together for you for the European elections and me for the Council elections. And thankfully we were both successful, and we had a very enjoyable campaign, if my memory serves me correctly, back then. I do agree with all of your views in relation to how interactions and relationships with the European Parliament can be improved, and I do agree with you about the future of the Seanad, however long the future of this particular House may be. It is interesting that there was a time when the European Parliament had to shoulder the same kind of criticism as the Seanad is now, where it was considered to be ineffective and a waste of money, and all of that ill-formed comments, was frequently thrown around. But thankfully, with the extension of or strengthening of the European Parliament's powers via the Lisbon Treaty, that has all changed. I sincerely feel that the outreach initiative is a fantastic way of ensuring that productive lines of communication are maintained between Oireachtas and European Parliament. We here in the Oireachtas, especially here in the Upper House, can learn a lot from the procedural ongoings in Strasbourg and Brussels. For one thing, there would appear to be more of an emphasis in your Parliament on consensus rather than confrontation, which appears to be the preferred way of doing business in this House. Also, the high amount of agreement which is reached in the Parliament is to be applauded. The whip system which prevails in these houses is strangling political progress, and surely we can learn from the European Parliament, which reaches 90% agreement, which is a hugely impressive statistic. There is a need for more of real connection between our houses here and the general public, something that you have alluded to, a situation where your Parliament aids very capably through the petitions procedure, whereby anyone can petition the European Parliament on a subject which comes before the EU sphere. There needs to be a stronger link between the committee system of both Houses of Parliament, your work on the Committee on Employment and Social Affairs, for example, being the obvious one for connection in the current climate of unemployment. You did refer to the Habitats Directive, and most certainly, I feel myself that even during that debate that went on for 12 and 13 years, there was no common sense brought into it. And one very simple common sense thing that could have been done during all of that over the last couple of years was consideration should have been given to the contractors who had invested serious money in machinery, for their own livelihoods, and consideration should be given to the fact that these guys should have been the guys that were now, in the future, providing turf as part of the agreement with the department to their neighbours. They should have been given alternative bogs to do this instead of just handing the power over to Bord Namona. For instance, I thought that this was just a simple thing, common sense thing that should be done. I'm also concerned, Marian, about the future of wind energy strategy in this country, and I have mentioned this to you in the past. I'm concerned about the proposed number of wind farm developments right across the country. I know Senator Sean Barrett has followed me on this one as well. I feel that people's rights are being eroded as a result of the way the wind energy companies do their business, signing people up to contracts in the dark of night that are with confidentiality clauses, and unfortunately all that happens is you end up with divided communities. I brought a bill before this House 14 months ago that got past second stage here about regulating the distances that wind turbines should be from family homes, bearing in mind all that we're dealing with at the moment of guidelines that are backdated to 2006, when wind turbines were 54 metres high. Now wind turbines that are going up today are 185 metres high. We still have the same setback distances, and what they're developing out in Europe is at the moment, which is absolutely staggering, wind turbines that are 350 metres high, which is absolutely extraordinary, and we're still dealing with setback distances that were put in place in 2006. On top of that, some recent developments have happened in Europe. There was a European Court of Justice rulings, and there was the Let case, which now have given, because of the fact that Ireland has not been compliant with a European directive, has meant that wind farms that were built developed between 1999 and 2012 haven't been compliant with this directive. And as a result, the ruling states that people whose properties would be devalued as a result of it can now sue the state. And I got a consultant to have a look at the developments that have taken place so far, the ones that are in the pipeline, and we could be talking about a bill of 1 billion to this state as a result of that. And it's something that needs to be addressed. You could be talking about another army deafness case. Just short of concluding, I just want to say that the European Parliament is a lesson to us all on how to conduct politics through negotiation and not through negativity. We are lucky that we have the Parliament that, that we have the Seanad. Our democracy needs to be strengthened and not diluted, really, or quenched. And those that are proposing the abolition of the Seanad are doing so, it's a deliberate political tactic so as to divert away from the real, their own shortcomings. And I know that, there's proposals out there by various parties to increase universal social charge to 3% of incomes in excess of 100,000, and that could bring in hundreds and hundreds of millions. And yet, our Taoiseach wants to just abolish the Seanad and save 4 million. And just to conclude, Marian, I met an experienced and seasoned Fine Gael senator an hour before you came in here, and I said to him that Marian Harkin was coming in, and his line was, "She's one of the best." So I thought it was a lovely compliment to be extended to you. Thank you.